whole grain. Flapjack waffle mix power cakes. These are by Kodiak. And if you know anything about bears, you know Kodiak is also a type of bear. So we're going to pour some of this cake mix, pancake mix, which you'd swear is a cake mix. We're going to pour some of this pancake mix into a pot. That's right, I said a pot. Man, are there ever a lot of losers and goofs that work at Google and YouTube, man? You should see some of the complaints people are saying now about these guys. Holy crap. So here we are, making things work, you know. I'm thinking of using a different donation method, but I haven't decided. I see people are too stupid to sign up to buy me a coffee. I get it. You know, it took me like 6 hours to get all that stuff done. I don't expect any of you to have an IQ higher than me. So yeah, I can see you're struggling. I can see you struggle. Man, Amazon is using this new Tiffany bot, which I can't for the life of me figure out how she got so stupid. What's up, Phoenix? Make sure you hit that like button. Share the video with your friends. Tell your friends about the channel, okay? Phoenix Weeb in the house. How you doing? We got weebs here in Manitoba. I wouldn't know if they're good people or bad people. I don't know much about them. I've heard of them. And, well, there's some in politics, I'm pretty sure, which is always a problem. Politics in Manitoba are so corrupt, you wouldn't even believe how corrupt politics in Manitoba are. You can go back and Google corrupt land deals with Gary Filmon, Gary Dewar, and a bunch of other corrupt politicians that have somehow not made their way to prison in Manitoba. But again, the corruption doesn't stop at the politician level. Whoever guards the politician is the most corrupt, okay? Whoever guards the Imperials is the most corrupt, right? Royals don't pay taxes, but you have to pay taxes. Who's the richest people in the world? Royals. Why? Because they don't pay taxes. Does that make sense? I see you're making pancakes. Wrong. I hate pancakes. I said I was making waffles in the beginning of the statement. But it's okay to be wrong. At least you were having a thought. I live in Canada. Well, I can tell you straight up, there's not a lot of good people in Canada due to the fact that there's so much evil in Canada. Does that make sense? If you stood idly by in 2020 and said nothing, then you have a weak person inside of you, right? A persona, as it were. You have a person inside of you who is a weakling, right? If you spoke out in 2020, then you are a man, whether you like to believe it or not, right? But there are a lot of weaklings. Phoenix says he's 9, but that's impossible. You can't get into my channel if you're 9. Oh, I don't understand why, like, there are people up there that are that, like, uneducated, that you can't figure out how smart I am. But you can't come into this channel if you're 9. It's not possible. It's not age restricted. It doesn't have to be. I don't go showing women's asses like 3/4 of the YouTube live streamers on here. Total goofs have deleted so many streams on YouTube so that they can meet guidelines. But how come they weren't struck first? Because they're in on it. Google and YouTube create channels to then backdoor, backdoor deal, right? So they do what's called, they have editors. They have people that they say are editors. These people, they take your content, charge you 40% of all the money you make on your videos because they are editing them. You guys understand corruption, right? You guys know corruption? That's corrupt. So yeah, you're using your mom's account. Well, mom's name doesn't start with Phoenix, buddy. So I just, everything you're saying is a lie. Right? Your mom's name is clearly not Phoenix. As there's never been a woman in Canada named Phoenix. It's far too cool for women in Canada. That's more of like a California thing, and you'd have to be about 16 or 18 years old. You would have been born, you know, end of the 90s. So maybe you're 25, 20, 22. You'd be like a 2001 baby. You'd be in the midst of like Apple, you know, Gwyneth Paltrow's daughter, Apple. You know what I mean? It'd be Cloud, Apple, and Phoenix. But like I said, we both know that your parents just, you know, couldn't figure out what was really going on. I mean, I'm older than your parents. By this, if you were 9, there's no way your parents are 45 years old right now. That would be a shame. When you're 20, they'd be close to 60, right? You always want to make sure you can take care of your kids, but if you're 75 years old with a 12-year-old, I mean, explain to me how you can care for your kid when you're passed on into energy, or living in an old folks home next year, right? While your kid is in elementary school. So again, folks, remember, people out there having babies late in life aren't doing it because they love kids. They're doing it for genetic experiments. Oh, you can look around in Hollywood right now at all the old men, and then you ask yourself, what's really going on? Why would an old man want to have 7 kids if he's rich? You know what I mean? Unless he can train them like juice boxes. What? Oh yeah, you should hear what people in other countries do with children, right? There are other countries where they use children on war-torn countries will take kids into a field, right? And you can only imagine what happens next. The dogs are worth more than small children, I was told. You can't make this up. See, the dog will protect you while the child just takes from you until they're what? When does it ever end, right? So think about it. Which is more valuable? A protector or a taker, right? I think the answer is quite simple. I love your videos so much, though I like watching the... Oh, I don't know what you're saying, buddy. And you are one smart 9-year-old, but I'm not buying that you're 9. But if that's your shtick that you want to stick to, I'm not gonna keep you from your shtick. You know what I mean? Alright, first waffle will be ready shortly. I'm going to grab these 2 plates here and rinse them off. One plate. 2 plates. 2 plates, 2 forks. And I'll use a butter knife. Oh yeah, baby. We're having waffles today. They only take about 45 minutes a waffle to make. I don't know why they take so long. But I really do miss my double waffle maker. And then at times I don't. Because it stole one of my waffles from me. I never got it back. I should have told the dude I want $9 more than that waffle maker is worth. Not only did I waste my ingredients, I lost a waffle. We must now bow our heads. I told Ed from Costco at customer service, bow your damn head. We lost a waffle, damn it! He did. He did. So we're over here, we're going to rinse out this this milkshake cup, which is also referred to as a protein shake cup. And we're going to get protein shakes in us. We're going to get vitamins today so that we live forever. Yeah. The elites do not want you to make it. The elites do not want you to make it to 2050. Do you know what happens in 2050? Everyone gets to live forever. So if you can make it to 2050, which is really going to be quite hard for most people, they can reverse the aging process to around the 50-year mark. Now, I don't know exactly how old you are, but I'm going to go back to being about 45, 50-year-old. No problem. I'm going to stay there forever, right? That's how the anti-aging campaign works, bud. So you can see here we got a waffle. Yeah, bud, we made a waffle. What do you even know about waffles, bud? How do you get it off of there? That's a great question. Dave from Indiana coming in with that heater. I don't know, Dave. We're just going to see what happens. This is my first time making waffles. Dave from Indiana. We got Margot from Michigan. And we have Florence from Florida. And we got Walter from Idaho. We're going to see what's going on here. You thought Walter was going to be Washington, didn't you? Look onto it. Let them look onto you. Look at these tiny squares of waffles. Look at them waffle squares. They're triangular squares. Oh, my buddy would be freaking right now if he was watching. He'd be like, those are fucking triangles, man. Those are clearly pure isosceles triangles. So smart with some stuff, but then other stuff, not so smart. He's a great guy, though. Don't be a know-it-all, guys, because I'm telling you, you definitely don't know it all. The things I know, I say. I never say what I don't know. Keep that in mind while you watch the show. You'll get smarter instead of dumber, because a lot of people out there, they spout it right from their asshole. Where'd they get it from? From their parents, right? From their parents' asshole. You know what I mean? That's a great way to just live a shit life, you know? Unless your parents are Nobel fucking scientists and researchers who do not experiment on golden retrievers, they're probably complete goofs. You know what I mean? Most parents are. See, there's a thing called sex and it feels good, right? There's also a thing called mistakes, and mistakes are kids, right? 99% of children happen to be mistakes. I don't know if you all know that, but it's true. It doesn't make any one of you a mistake. It makes all of us mistakes. And it's not, that's so... Don't let your feeling get involved with facts, right? Sex feels good. Out of sex, most people never last. The sex partner you have on that day isn't your lifelong partner, okay? If you can wrap your head around that, 99% of you virgins on YouTube, right? You would understand that, right? But you're a virgin, so you have a hard time getting kissed, never mind getting laid, right? Now it gets worse. The stats fall even lower if you're a Twitch streamer or a Twitch viewer. You've never been laid, and there's very little hope of you getting laid. Please don't watch Twitch, as 99% of viewers have never been laid and can't get laid due to the fact they watch Twitch, right? If you watch scrawny, grown boys, who are not grown, but they're tiny little boys, who drink energy drinks and have energy drink fridges in the background, you've probably entirely failed at life. Alright? So, You get all these weird people can't even get a hard on or whatever else, and then you realize that they're spending their entire day playing video games. You know what I mean? Well, what the fuck did you think was gonna happen to your knob if you sat around all day? You think it's gonna get larger? No, bud. Tiny D's come from playing video games on Twitch all day. Now my dong is far too long, too big, so I could stream on Twitch for years, and I'd just be doing the ladies a favor, you know? So over here on this channel, we're talking about getting things done. I don't know, does it fall on your mom if you're in here on your mom's account? Do we put your mom in jail? You know what I mean? Like, who goes to jail? It's definitely not the streamer, because this it's not allowed for children to watch, right? So again, you got to look at that and go, if I click the box that says no kids allowed, but Google is allowing children in through their mom's accounts, I mean, it falls on the mom, right? The mom has allowed a child to access an adult Google YouTube account. How dumb are you, you know? Or how shitty of a parent are you, which is 99% of the problem. There's a lot of shitty parents out there. A lot of shitty parents. Again, we can go back to the fact that 99% of you are not planned pregnancies, you're mistakes, right? Think about it and then do the math and then get back to me with one answer. Holy shit, Ash, you're so smart. Parents that let their kids watch adult streams should probably face criminal charges. It'd be like letting your kid watch porn, right? If you're underage, you shouldn't allow your child to watch that, right? You should face criminal charges. I mean, just somebody saying they're 9, I have to block and ban you after thinking about this. Hide user, yes, we will hide that user permanently. Great that you love the show, but don't tell me your age, right? Like, I don't want to. Also, you can tell that you're not who you say you are. There's no 9-year-old people that go on the internet and say that they're 9 years old. That's the number one rule your parents teach you, is never tell your age. So by you doing that, either you have the worst parents I've ever come across that didn't raise you, right? You have no idea of how to be an actual human being in this world. This is a dangerous world. You would never tell a stranger your age online. You should never do that. But here on YouTube, we have something called entrapment, which I take very seriously, and I will also have these messages looked into. Report. We're gonna go harassment. Me, and then I'll report it. This way, there's a log of me tracking and tracing these people on this stream, so that when time comes, we can sue for defamation. We can sue for entrapment, and we can sue for gang stalking and bullying. So and trust me, these are criminal charges in Canada. These are criminal. So remember, tread lightly in Canada, because you will be in a lot of trouble. And then also remember, if you ever want to come to Canada, you'll face criminal charges when you get here at the border. They'll let you in, and then we'll arrest you. So if you fuck me around in the States or Europe, and you ever make your way to Canada, they'll be sitting there. They'll be sitting there waiting for you. It's you guys. If you could understand how the world works, Google Julian Assange. Google Julian Assange. First and foremost, Google that. And then I want you to look up how serious what I said to you in the beginning was. And remember, each of you can be treated like Julian Assange. Oh yeah. Fuck, it said contact law enforcement if you believe you're in danger. Well, I don't believe I'm in danger, but I have got threats on here before, but it's good to see that they've stepped up how they're going to protect streamers now. But yeah, that was news to me. I didn't actually see it right away. I was biting down on a fart, and I was preparing plates of waffles for hot chick. I said hot chick, right? My wife. I'm referring to my wife, who's very smoking hot, okay? Now, my wife did the dishes, so I'm gonna wash this pot and those plates in the sink, and then I gotta change that plate out for the cat. But man, we're gonna do the dishes up here. She's done the dishes down there, and we've got her waffle ready. I'm gonna close the lid on this waffler. We'll get this one going. I'll be right back with another.